Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
It's funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. Got any parts you'd like to get to know better today?
Yes. There are a few who are involved in sort of a push-pull that's going on. There's what I'm going to call a timeout part that it's calling timeout on a lot of things. It's wanting me to take some time off from work. It's wanting me to, there's an image that I got the other day of, I've been just inputting information. Last year, at some point, I was it's time to learn some new things. And I've been pursuing that with fervor in several areas, including IFS. And there's a part that's blowing a whistle and doing the timeout, stop putting things in here. It's time to the image that I got was of myself pulling, when clowns pull scarves out of their pocket?
Yes.
Endlessly.
Yes.
It was me pulling the scarves out of my ears and then arranging them on the floor and then making a quilt out of them or something like that. But the part is saying you've got to stop the input.
Yes.
To make anything out of any of this, you've got to stop constantly listening to things and reading things and and scheduling things and doing things and all of that. And then, so that part is very strong, and I'm very keen on it at the moment. Because it feels it has an important message. There is a part that I keep saying I'm going to work with that interferes with a lot of other parts, ideas and feelings. That is and I'm sure there may be more than one, but fear around money stuff part that it's yeah, taking some time off. That sounds good. And then as soon as I start looking at the calendar, it's this part starts racking up what it's going to cost, to take time off.
Yes.
And it's whoa. This is this is a lot. And it just, there's this uneasiness anytime when I'm doing anything where you can see that there would have been income and I'm choosing otherwise.
Right.
So those two are the ones that are like, arms crossed, like facing each other, like,
Right.
That's it for, I felt like there was everyone involved too, but I don't perceive that at this moment. That's
time out, time off part, and no time off allowed part.
It's not no time off allowed. It's just like, whoa, not too much, like I'll be like, this is what I need. And then, it's like, but you could, you could do these 2 gigs on that day or blah, 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 blah. It doesn't, it's like, can't just let there be, it can't just agree to the plan.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it has been even more, it has been present in a lot of moments, in stronger ways. Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
Yeah. I think we had a conversation with it or around it once.
Yeah. Well, we had a conversation with Miss Independent, and I don't know if they're the same, but she's keen on that mojo too, because she doesn't want to need any help ever. So she wants, the financial, ease or non-anxiousness, but she's more than just that. Yeah. So yeah, it might be her. It might be her too. I don't know. She's probably the third one that I was like, there was a third something going on here. But,
well, thank them for showing up. They've agreed to at least let you witness them, and maybe we can learn something more about them and how to help them out.
Yeah.
Do you know who you'd like to start with?
I feel like I should start with the money stuff part, because I don't want to, I'm like, I'm hesitating to say this out loud. I'm like, I don't want to hurt his feelings, but like, I often find other parts more interesting, like intriguing and whatnot. And I'll be like, I need to get with that part. I need to get with that part. And then I go some other direction.
Yeah.
And I know that it is in need of attention, because it is so often, showing up and causing like physical, I don't know what the word is besides tension. There's a better word that I want, but I can't find it. So.
Okay. Well, that's usually a good place to start. What is it causing physically?
Yeah. When I have this idea, like, all right, I'm taking these particular days off. It's this many and no less. And I start looking at what I need to, who do I need to notify that I won't be there? There's just like a general dis-ease in my body. Like, as I start to look at it, I would say it's present in my eyebrows. It's part of the conglomerate of parts that contribute to tension behind my eyes. Yeah, it's in a lot of places. It's like eyebrows, eyes, throat, chest, stomach, mostly like oriented towards the front.
Okay.
I don't feel it like in the back side of my body, but I feel it. Yeah, it's present in multiple areas, forward facing.
All right. How are you feeling towards it?
I feel mostly compassion towards it, but there is kind of this like, just a little bit of exasperation, or like, yo, dude. So I know there's somebody else like.
Is that the timeout part?
Opinion about it. Probably, maybe. I don't know who it is. It's just like just this little bit of like, come on already, so. Let me see if I can. Yeah, when I release that, or when I soften that, however you want to put it, there's also a part or a piece of my feelings towards it that's like, It's like when I look at it, the image I see is of like hand wringing, like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when you're around an anxious person and you feel anxious too, it's like it feels very contagious in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that could be something we look out for, and that we could negotiate upfront, of just letting this part know that you do want to get to know it, and if it could try not to do whatever it does that makes that anxiety kind of flow out into other parts or into you.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, do I need to say this out loud or not? But it feels like the Miss Independent part and this part are like sisters. Like they're not the same, but related. And this part, like Miss Independent shows up as being like very solid and like stocky. And this is very like thin and, like kind of high metabolism kind of feeling.
Yeah. And how about that hand wringing concern or feeling?
Yeah, she's like fidgety, which I can relate. Not quite as fidgety as this image, but I definitely have a need to move.
Okay.
She's probably one of, of several in there who are like that.
Feeling curious? Anything else? Any other parts coming up that are objecting to your working with this part?
No, not right now. No.
Okay.
I'm softer now.
Yeah, just show it that. Curiosity, softness, compassion.
Yeah, I'm noticing in myself like that as I'm showing it curiosity and compassion, that there's an element of like wanting it to calm down as a result, like compassion with the agenda.
Yeah. Well, you could be compassionately wanting what's best for it. So,
but there's like kind of a,
yeah,
kind of a pushiness about it that I need to. Let me try again. Okay.
Is she noticing you now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like now she's kind of trying to calm down, but it's very difficult.
What does she want you to know?
It's interesting. I'm not had a part. It's almost like she doesn't know what she wants me to know, which is strange to me. It's new. Like she's just kind of very frenetic, and it's like she can't settle her own thoughts to put it together for me in a way.
Mm-hmm. You could ask if there's something that's kind of driving her to feel that way.
What I'm getting is like that I get the sense that that she knows that if she like slows down and tries to put together her kind of philosophy that that she understands that it's like that it won't make sense even to her.
Yeah.
And then she won't have anything at all. Like she won't have a fucking clue at all. Like how to function.
Yeah. So she has this feeling that she needs to be able to make a case for you or to explain it all or have a cohesive story. And that she's worried if she doesn't.
Well, I don't even know 100% that it's like, what I'm trying to say is not like that she feels pressure to make sense to be, but almost like she has, I really believe in this whole parts have parts thing, but like that she realizes that if she tries to externalize her philosophy, like and put it out, it won't make sense to her either.
Yeah.
And that's big. It's like that she's going to just like crumble.
Does it make sense to you that she would feel that way?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And I get like this. Also, I get just like she feels like she has to keep running, like not running away, but maybe that too, but running towards and running around. And like, I used to work in restaurants for a long time, and she's got like an apron and stuff, you know, like running.
Yep.
Making holes in her shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Yeah. And can she show you more about just what that's been like for her?
There's emotion coming up. It's like she wants to, but yeah, she's like afraid to stop moving. And there's like a lot of emotion that's going to come out if she stops moving.
Okay.
And she's like, she has fear about it.
Yeah. And it's totally fine. She doesn't have to share the philosophy or put it together. She doesn't have to stop moving.
It's like really, this is like, a lot of it feels very like waitress days. She's like, I want to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. It's the only time you get a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know how that goes.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like, I don't know.
How are you feeling towards her, learning all this about her?
A bunch of ways, but yeah, all of them are good. It's like kind of surprised. I'm often surprised, like, whoa, okay. No, that was going to be, I didn't know you'd be wearing an apron or. So what I'm feeling like that I'm supposed to do is like go out to the place where she used to smoke cigarettes on her shift and see if she wants to talk there.
Yeah, could offer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems good.
Great. How long has she been doing this?
Running around?
Yeah.
A lot of times I get this same response from my parts. So it's like since adulthood, but this one's kind of a little bit more specific. It's like more like since not real adulthood, but like since we were trying to be adult, since it was time to go get your own money so that you can make your own decisions. Yeah, she's like I said, she's related to Miss Independent. They share some similar ideas, but they're not the same. Hard. Maybe they live together or something.
Okay. What else is coming up around that? Around that, getting your own money?
Yeah, it's just like really strongly holding on to that it's not really okay to stop moving and going and going. Getting, doing.
You all right with how she's showing you this?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, it's okay to sit down. I don't smoke anymore and haven't for a long time, but she's like, it's okay to sit down for just this long.
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Yeah. It's fine with me if she has a 45-minute cigarette. Real long one.
Yeah.
So the going.
She's tired.
Yeah. Was she afraid what happened if she slowed down or relaxed?
I think I have like a reasoning part that's coming in that's like trying to filter her stuff. It's like, no, not really. No, that's not really true. That.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you don't smoke. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
What are you doing here? That's not nice though. Yeah.
It can have its own time with you if it needs some other time.
Yeah.
And this part can tell you what she's afraid of, and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to add up or be any
when you said it
that
doesn't have to make sense, she was like, thank you.
Yeah.
She's just like, it won't be okay. Like, if she doesn't keep going, it just won't be okay.
Okay.
You could just have to keep going.
Do you feel like she's protecting you or parts of you somehow?
I mean, what I want to say to that, or what I feel, it's like she's protecting against, this, her perception is, like, if you don't just keep going and going, then you might not have enough. And, the cruel world will eat you up.
Some truth to that.
Yeah.
And when she has that concern or fear about not having enough, what all does that include?
I don't get much besides the money thing. Like, money, which also equals like safety and choice and freedom.
Yep.
Like, choices.
Right. That's what she said before about making your own decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, as I said, she shares some of the traits and the beliefs of Miss Independence. Like, yeah, we need to get some money so we can, not need help, assistance. Yeah. And then it's like they believe that you have power. Not, power, but, empowerment type of power.
Sure.
Yeah. And like, I have to agree. And when I was kind of like noticing the timeout part with the handkerchiefs and the ears and stuff, I was thinking, money stuff part and Miss Independent or whoever else is responsible for all of the like
moving and
decisions
going
that I've made.
Go on.
The decisions that I've made in that realm have made it possible for me to call a timeout safely
Mm-hmm.
It's just now I need them to realize that, like, hey, you guys did a good job. There's a safety net, at least enough for what I'm proposing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that could be an important part of the conversation.
Yeah, when I said that, I kind of saw us like cheersing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, fuck yeah. Like she
Yeah.
likes to be acknowledged, and she wants me to validate that, you know, that she's helped me.
Yeah.
It's just that she's like, how are we? She's like, we can't stop though. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's how I got us here.
Right. Right. And like you were saying, she maybe was not real clear on where here was. She didn't see, what you are. I don't know.
Meaning like my current life?
The options you do have now, and the fact that you may have some of those days that you could take off.
Yeah. So I'm feeling like what I should do now is just like be like, hey, so did you know, you know, I'm this old and we accomplished all these things. And we have this, that, and the other resources at the moment that are more than enough to allow for this.
Yeah, update her on all that.
She's like, well, you should buy me a drink. Okay.
Yeah. She wants to relax.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna smoke another cigarette. Oh.
All right. What else does she need from you?
I don't know. She's like, just now she's got her feet up, like still in the same place where I used to smoke cigarettes at this restaurant. But she's like laid back and like looking up towards the sky, and I don't know if she needs anything else at the moment.
Okay. So just having acknowledged her, seen more about her world, and updating her with your age and your bank account, all that.
Yeah. I think she's like, you can acknowledge me some more. That would not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I could think of lots of more questions.
Okay.
A lot of them might be kind of leaning towards more of the fears, where they came from.
Yeah.
Are there other parts being protected? And I don't, if that feels like not acknowledging her, then I don't, we don't need to go there.
I mean, I don't think it's any big jump, to assume that there's like a teenager part in there that was like, fuck this, I'm going to go get some my own money so that, not that, I don't want to paint any picture like it was some terrible thing or whatever, but like just want, she comes from there, but she also is like, also my, call it what you will, my anxiety has served you.
Yeah.
So she's like, yes, I will lean back and smoke the cigarette, and you will tell me that I
did a
was
good job.
At least a little bit right. Like,
yeah.
You know, at least to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And that maybe, you know, maybe I shouldn't be worried right now. But the only reason why is because I was worried all that other time.
Makes sense to me.
It does to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I think she and Miss Independent in part do what they do to give a teenager part, or even younger than that, just like, you know, young parts of me that didn't get to choose because they weren't in charge. They're like, well, we're going to get out of that situation. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, she's now like upright again, and like instead of like lean back with her feet up, and she's like, all right, what do you want to know?
Yeah, what do you want to know?
What do I want to know, James? What do I want to know?
Is there more that she wants you to know about herself, her experience, other parts that she contends with or protects? Or I have other questions.
I don't know what to like, how to put in words. I just get the sense that sometimes when I ask my parts these questions, they're like, you know, or and I'm like, oh, okay. But what I get is, you know, she protects young parts that wanted choices, more choices. Yeah, some in particular that we might be already aware of.
Yep. And that happens too. I mean, you can do a lot of work with an exile and still have protectors who didn't get the memo or haven't.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Well, and yeah, I feel like with her, it's like, she's like, okay, yeah, sure. You can fucking take some time off or whatever. She's like, you can't blame me for doing what I do, you know, like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she's felt that judgment and blame for
Say
her
that again.
intentions. She's felt that judgment and blame from other parts for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, because there's like, I feel like I'm at a place where I'm going to need more space than I have previously given myself. More time and more space to kind of like integrate and put together a lot of what I've been working on lately. And it's just, you know, it's kind of against the status quo. And yeah, she's definitely nowhere near as nervous as she was at the beginning of this, obviously. She seems to, it's like I can sign off, but she's like, don't expect me to be perfectly relaxed. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Well, we don't
have
expect her to be a different part.
Yeah.
And if one of her defining qualities has been her steadfastness in work, then
And her concern about financial things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's just gonna be there.
Is there some other way that she would like to be using her energy, or some other environment?
I don't get a sense of what it is, but I feel like she's kind of like, her eyebrows are a little bit furrowed, but in a good way, like, huh. She's like, kind of like, now that you've seen me, you can come back and check in with me, like, because I didn't get a sense until, getting on the phone today of where she was, how she presents. Didn't know she liked to smoke cigarettes, so I think she likes the idea of being involved in something other than her current mode. Maybe, she's like, maybe I can, like, maintain her focus. But I think what I'm getting is something to the effect of like, maybe I can be involved in kind of a new way of seeing that part of life, finances and stuff. Like, she's like, we're still going to have to, she's like, we're still going to have to go and get some, obviously.
Right. It's just
we
not
are on the planet and all.
It's not like, please give me this extra $5 tip because I can't put gas in my car.
Oh no. I mean, it was never that bad, but that was because she was hustling.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe she can see that allowing time and space for new things to develop or evolve could also be in her interests too.
Can be profitable.
Yeah. There's definitely a part that's like, profitable. So there's one of her, there's one of her foes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that to be important.
Did she mean something else by being in her interest?
No, I'm saying she is like, yeah, it sounds great. And then there's another part that's like, doesn't want profitable to be like one of my, it's kind of ridiculous because here we are on the planet amongst all the humans. You can't like just ditch that completely, but there's a bunch of crusaders in here that are like, fuck money or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So she has to work very hard because there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So those are some of the parts that are judging her and blaming her.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can get to know them too.
Yeah. I'd like to do that. They're going to be a piece of work too. I would like though to, if she's done speaking to me, which it seems like she is, she's standing up and, like, looks like she wants to move on for the moment. Yeah, she and I we're in a good place. Like, what I want to say is like, we're going to have to have a drink after she gets off or something. But sorry for all the drinking and smoking references, but that's the time of my life that she came from.
and I'm sure that those parts were very helpful too.
Oh, I'm sure that they think so.
Yeah.
But I would like to see what's up with the timeout.
Great.
Sometimes I get a little bit murky as to like what's a part and what is
and
coming.
What's just a good idea.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But the fact that I was shown like this visual image made me think like, ooh, maybe that's a part showing me things. Like I tried to see if I could work with intuition as a part recently, and it was just like too slippery. And I thought, well, this is a side note from what I was just telling you I wanted to do, but I was like, is it because intuition isn't part? Is it, an aspect of self?
I would lean towards aspect of self.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, me too. Okay. Or after trying to locate it, I was like, maybe you can't find that as a part. So yeah, and the reason why that came up is because when I said, what is the part? And you were like, what's just a good idea? Yeah. So like, Is this timeout? Is this a part, or is this
just your intuition and your and self-leadership?
Yeah. Because it almost feels, even though not all of them know it, it feels as though it would serve all of the parts.
Yeah. Well, it could also be both. It could also be a part that you totally agree with. And that's the step you're going to take. So, in which,
good one.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But if it doesn't feel like there are extreme emotions around it, if it's not asking for your attention.
There were, I don't know if I would say extreme emotions, but what there was like, well, I guess that is, I was about to say almost like not quite, but a feeling of near desperation. Like this needs to happen. So yeah. And then, like I said, there was like this very distinct and sort of, and when I see images that I didn't think up, it's just like all of a sudden I'm seeing something. I always think, oh, parts. Parts are showing me things. So that image of like the handkerchiefs and then the like laying them all out and this feeling like I was going to, like create a quilt or some thing out of them. Felt like communication.
Yeah, a part trying to get your attention to.
Yeah. Like, hey, get on board. This is what's happening. Get the rest of them on board. Yeah. So yeah, I know we have a brief amount of time left, so it would be cool to check in on that if there's some.
Start with feelings in the body.
The idea that felt like it was behind it was just, as I said, it was like I've been inputting information at nonstop. It's just been nonstop. Like I'm never, not never anymore, but until just a few days ago, very rarely, if I'm doing some chore around the house, I'm listening to something that has to do with something that I'm learning about, whether it's IFS or other things.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just this, all of a sudden, this like, stop, like stop it, time out.
Yeah.
And like, stop putting anything more in here. It's almost as though the part lives inside my head and it was like, yo, it's getting crowded.
Yeah.
It's you're hoarding or something.
Yeah.
Hoarding input, sort of. And
hoarding information.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have time to, you're inputting such a constant rate. There's not like time for me to sort this stuff.
Yeah.
Or like do something of value with it.
Yeah. How do you feel towards that part?
I feel pretty right on about that. Like you said, it's like a part that I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's pretty right on.
How does it feel about having to scream?
Unsurprised. It feels unsurprised because of how this system operates and hyperfocus and extreme enthusiasm. And yeah, it doesn't seem like mad, post screaming. It's not like I'm so mad that I had to scream. It's just like, well, it just says, it's like, it was necessary. It's necessary. So I call a halt and, like put on the black and white striped shirt and blow the whistle really loud. Stop.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I think that it's necessary to stop, but it's not necessary to use a very loud whistle internally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I would offer it, of just, is there some other way that you would like to communicate with me, or something that I can do for you, a way that I can show up for you so that you can just tap me on the shoulder?
Yeah. Because that was several days ago and I have been stopping some, or like listening to music instead of constantly, taking in information. It's like, you know what to do. Like, as long as, it's like basically saying, if I don't get too extreme, I guess at some point we're going to have to work with that intensity junkie, aren't we? As long as I don't get out of whack, it doesn't need to do that. It can just chill and read a book and listen to some music. But it became necessary because I was out of balance.
Yeah, kind of being driven more by that anxious one.
Maybe not the one we were talking to, the like money stuff one, but more like, the sort of intensity junkie, information gobbler upper, something like that. Yeah. So I think the takeaway is that I need to work with that part eventually so that this part doesn't get desperate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Working with the intensity junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I also have on my someday list here the fuck money parts.
Oh yeah. That's a whole gang of parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna be tough.
And then perhaps some exiles who felt like they just didn't have enough choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Or had just enough choices and could imagine having fewer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a good list.
Yeah. Check it out with this part, the timeout part, and see if it has any requests of, about that list or adding to it or anything else.
I'm getting the sense that this part has a lot of, like, I think it struggles a lot with the parts that are associated with like ADHD type behaviors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, hyperfocus and moving around a lot and just,
Yes.
like there is a part in here who likes stillness and slowness and all of the things that there's a whole bunch of like traits and parts and things that don't get along with it.
Right. Right.
There's like a ping pong ball ricocheting around in there. And it's like, this is driving me nuts. Like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that part's kind of like underneath a lot of the chaos and the movement. And the like, I want to say something like extreme multiplicity. Like, I do get a sense that that at the outset of doing this kind of work, some parts seem to be separate and will eventually kind of. I don't subscribe to the notion of like complete integration where we just like make a smoothie of all the parts. But I do feel as though, it's like,
oh, you were going to say blend. I'm just catching up to the.
Or actually, I wasn't even going to say blend. I was trying to find words that like, some psychological models, the aim is one cohesive, like.
Yeah. Well, especially all the ones that aren't based in multiplicity. They're all saying that.
Right.
And at the religions too,
What I'm saying is
kind of what everybody's saying.
I think that, some of my parts are, they're like showing up in different costumes. And this part is like, I think this part is like, could you just, keep going, because like all these guys are, is a lot for me. This part.
Keep going in
doing the work.
Yeah.
Like, I think what this part is kind of saying is like, it's a circus in here. I need your help. I need you to, keep going.
Yeah. And that work requires timeout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. I think that's all for today.
Okay.
Unless you have more to say.
Oh, I always have more to say, but
Okay.
But I'll put it in the text message.
Be respectful of your time.
No, I think this is good.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have more to say, I can follow up in a text.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This was a good one. Yeah, I'm pleased. I feel
Glad to hear it.
I feel very connected to that.
Nice.
Money waitress part.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Guess we'll talk to you next time. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.